From the Lower Colorado River Authority, this is Wavelength.
The creation of this new river authority will help electrify rural Texas.
And so today, we gather here to dedicate this mighty structure, the Cannondale.
This has been a great organization for 70 years, and it's going to be a great organization for a long time to come.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the September 2005 edition of Wavelength. More than 400 LCRA employees are here today for the twice-annual All Managers and Supervisors meeting. The theme for this gathering? Communications.
We're going to do a better job of communicating within this organization. We're going to talk about it a lot today, but we're going to do a better job. I owe that to you. I, as the leader of this organization, need to make sure that we are properly communicating, and I pledge to you that I'm going to do that with your help.
Most business experts agree that nothing can turn productivity downward or kill employee morale in an organization more quickly than the lack of credible information.
Number one, I'm telling you, employees go into work every day.
Communication consultant Steve Crescenzo has worked with Fortune 500 companies all over the country. His message is clear.
Good communication does drive the business. Absolutely. I'm not saying it's the only thing, but it's one of the main drivers. Good communication is tied directly to the bottom line. It affects everything up there. Productivity, efficiency, sales, service, safety. I mean, it affects everything. You communicate well, and it's the grease that keeps the wheels going. Because employees are happier, they're more productive, there's less distractions, there's less rumors flying around, there's less people agonizing over if they're going to have a job. All that stuff starts to happen.
From the Lower Colorado River Authority, this is
LCRA has a number of well-crafted, award-winning employee communication tools, such as LCRA News, Monday Morning, and the web-based Inside LCRA. But communication studies say over and over, employees want more.
Employees do look at the tools that we produce, like Wavelength and Monday Morning. Those are great things. But they want the personal touch. They want to know how their manager or supervisor sees this information and communicates it. It's really their commitment that employees are looking for. The main point is that communications is a dialogue, not a document. It's not something produced by internal communications and then sent out. It's something that takes place between employee and supervisor on a regular basis.
Experts say communicating with each other, across lines of business, or up and down the management chain is best done face-to-face.
It's the best thing for communicating change. It's the best thing for communicating any bad news. It's the best thing for day-to-day job information. It's the best thing for Q&A, for give and take, for the two-way nature of communication, company direction. All of that stuff, study after study after study, has proven that employees want that from their supervisors, from their managers. They don't want it necessarily from Joe Beal. They don't necessarily want it from the print publication. They want to hear it from their supervisors. And I'll tell you that's the power of face-to-face communication.
And then making sure that they understood what you said.
Joe Beal stresses that LCRA's foundation values and Vision 2010 are only words on paper or abstract concepts unless they are understood and embraced by each and every employee.
Often it is said that the buck stops with me. It does on many things, but on communication, it doesn't. The buck stops with you, because you are the ones that are going to make us or break us from a communication standpoint. I can't do it. I can't get to people like you can get to people. I can't sit with 3 or 4 people and get to everybody within the company and have a conversation in a timely fashion about something that is important to LCRA. And you all can. And so please do that. You must do that to be effective leaders and effective supervisors and managers.
What a big impact that has.
For VJ George, this is the first All Managers and Supervisors meeting he has attended.
I think it's really important to have a common vision and a common purpose, and that's what this kind of meeting does allow us to do, is to have a moment to share, because we are so diverse as an organization, to come together and see the whole picture and to see the one picture that we're all trying to get to.
August in South Texas. The rice harvest is in full swing and irrigation of the second crop is just beginning. For the 39 employees of LCRA's irrigation operations in Colorado, Wharton, and Matagorda counties, there is also a harvest of another kind taking place.
James Till.
Gift packages and awards were handed out recently to Gulf Coast, Lakeside, and Garwood irrigation crews for reaching a safety milestone. As of May 13th, this group has worked 1 million hours without a lost time incident.
I'm very proud of them and appreciate what they do. They add a lot to our area. The job that these folks do is so vitally important to these producers, and they rely on it, they can count on it, they know they can count on it, and that's a real plus for rice farmers, and also it's just a good tie between LCRA and the production down this way.
These crews have to deal with snakes, alligators, heat, mud, darkness, heavy equipment, and lots of moving water. And through it all, they keep safety as the top priority.
Can't say how proud I am of all the guys that work down here. They all give it 100%, and they're very dedicated employees to the LCRA and to each other.
Just upstream in Smithville, the 19 employees at LCRA's Rail Fleet Maintenance Facility have now worked 16 years without a lost time incident. These crews cut, weld, and fabricate steel for LCRA projects, in addition to maintaining 1,500 coal cars. The Hillbig Gas Storage Facility began operations in 1991 and has never had a lost time incident. The same is true for employees here at Environmental Laboratory Services at 23 years. Dam and hydro operations is now at 14 years. Thomas C. Ferguson Power Plant in Marble Falls has gone more than 17.5 years, while Water and Wastewater Services has gone 13 years with no lost time incidents. Congratulations to all of you for these amazing safety accomplishments.
The sun, wind, water. These natural power sources can be used to generate an unlimited supply of clean, renewable energy. Sunlight can be converted directly into electricity through these photovoltaic cells. Falling water can generate hydroelectric power. And the whispering wind can be harnessed to spin these giant blades, turning out renewable electricity. In the 1930s, when LCRA first brought electricity to the farms and ranches of the Texas Hill Country, hydropower from Buchanan Dam was the sole source of that electricity. Over the years, those 3 hydro units became 13 as LCRA built 5 more dams on the Colorado River. In 1985, LCRA began a massive project to overhaul and upgrade all of the hydroelectric units, starting at Mansfield Dam. Now, 20 years later, at McStarkey Dam, the final 2 hydro units are being overhauled. A new stainless steel turbine runner will replace this original 50-year-old equipment. This and upgraded electrical components will increase the output of Unit 1 from 16.3 megawatts to 20 megawatts, using the same amount of water.
One of the key points is that we are going to be operating in a peak efficiency mode. The units will run smoother, will run more efficient, will utilize our natural resources better, and we will match the flow of the conditions upstream of us.
These hydro units can respond very quickly to changing electrical demand, coming online sometimes within seconds when needed. When this rehab project is complete, the total generating capacity of all LCRA hydro units will have increased some 28% to over 290 megawatts. In 1995, LCRA partnered with the Texas General Land Office and Kinetec Corporation to create the first commercial wind farm in Texas.
The plant that we put in 1995 was a breakthrough in technology for wind plants. And it was a variable speed technology, and that was the big new thing. And for once, power cost was less than a nickel a kilowatt hour. And that was a big deal back then, because wind power up to that time had been more like 10 to 12 cents a kilowatt hour. So it almost cut it in half. But the plant we had in 95 compared to now is like comparing an Apple computer with the new computers on your desktop. Things keep getting better and faster, in this case bigger instead of smaller, but more power production, lower cost. So the cost of power that was less than a nickel back then, including the production tax credit, is now less than 3 cents.
LCRA received 35 megawatts of electricity from that first wind plant. Today, 10 years later, LCRA purchases 116 megawatts of wind capacity from 3 West Texas wind farms. The tremendous growth in wind generation in very remote areas of Texas created the need for new transmission lines to bring that power to the rest of the state. LCRA partnered with American Electric Power to build a system of transmission lines known as the Renewable Highway. One such project is the $95 million Morgan Creek Line, which runs 145 miles from Mitchell County to San Angelo and east to Brown County.
We pride ourselves in being an environmental leader. And in the world of energy, environmental leadership is renewables, whether it be hydropower or whether it be wind power. And so we take a great deal of pride by bringing wind power into the Texas grid. With the projects that we completed over the last several years, we've brought about 1,000 megawatts of renewable energy from West Texas to the load centers in the middle of our state.
Since last Friday, this has put out almost 2,500 kilowatt hours.
LCRA General Manager Joe Beal, Austin Mayor Will Wynn, and LCRA Board Chair Ray Wilkerson recently checked out this interactive solar kiosk at the Dowshaw Service Center. The kiosk allows visitors and employees to monitor the output of the new solar photovoltaic system located here on the roof of LCRA's Environmental Lab. This system has 72 4x6-foot modules which can produce about 28,000 kilowatt hours of pollution-free electricity per year, enough to power 2 average-size homes. This is the largest system to date for Austin Energy's new solar rebate program, which pays the highest rebate in the country to encourage residents and businesses to install solar systems.
So what the goal here with both the city's program and really what's happening across the country is, with that incentive-driven, initially, expanded demand, we're going to see the unit cost of solar PV panels coming down, and therefore we all will start to reap the benefits of this limitless, pollution-free power.
I'm told that this particular system will prevent the release of over 48,000 pounds a year of carbon dioxide gas. That's equivalent to removing nearly 5 automobiles from the road or planting 7 acres of trees. So this fairly small system here in the scheme of things is really having an impact on the environment.
This summer, 10 Central Texas schools received these 1 kilowatt solar photovoltaic systems through a partnership between LCRA, its wholesale customers, and the Texas State Energy Conservation Office. It's all part of a statewide program called Solar for Schools.
The program's a great opportunity to educate kids at all grade levels about renewable energy and in general, and about solar energy specifically, and as well as educating the communities where these are being installed about the same benefits of renewable energy.
It gives you helpful hints on how to implement the teacher introduction anticipatory set.
LCRA held several teacher workshops this summer to help with energy lesson plans and hands-on learning projects.
We are hoping that this program will show children real-world applications and how they can make a difference in their energy choices and help improve the environment.
The solar array is tied into the school's electric system, and students can monitor and track electrical output under varying weather conditions via the internet.
And so we're really pleased that the community can access the information about this energy savings and what is being generated and what savings are occurring in the environment on a public website, so they can see what's happening here with the solar panel that they drive by frequently here at Brenham Middle School. So that's an added bonus for us, as well as our kids being able to work with that data on a day-to-day basis.
As LCRA and other utilities strive to meet future increased demands for electricity and seek a balance between our need for reliable, low-cost power and a clean, livable environment, sustainable, pollution-free sources of energy will play an ever-increasing role. Well, that's it for this edition of Wavelength. We'll look forward to seeing you again next time.